Oops.
First, we have some test results to share with you.
Live.
You are not the father.
We're live.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast.
We care about you.
You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I want to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app.
We do.
We do. We're about to have another app, which we'll talk about later.
What?
Be careful with that word about.
Yeah, about. What does that mean?
Couple weeks.
No, I don't think it's anything
2
like
weeks
that.
away, man.
We're in the process
2
of
weeks
building,
away from production.
Just like when you're running, it's right around the corner.
and it's looking great.
It's all,
It's all
and it's all
downhill.
down here from here.
It's all downhill from here.
We're not even going to test it. We're just going to launch it.
For
It's like CrossFit's at, right?
$3.99 a month, you can be on that app. And with $3.99 a month, you'll be added to the Lift Heavy Run Long community, and you will get 3 body weight exercises a week, 4 barbell strength and conditioning WODs, as well as 4 barbell workouts. You will also have access to Valerie Hunt, who is the best endurance trainer in the world. For $9.99 a month, you can have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer. The goal of Lift Heavy Run Long is to bring fitness to as many people as possible, as inexpensively as possible. If you or someone you know needs fitness in their life and they don't have $3.99 a month to spare, then email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com, and whoever it is free to use, is welcome to use the app free of charge.
Did you go on a caffeine detox over the holidays?
Why is that? Come on, go ahead with whatever crappy thing you're about to say.
That was very calm.
Was
And
that mellowed out?
That was mellowed out compared to previous weeks.
I don't want to be mellowed out. I want to get through it, man.
Okay, then get through it, man.
I got a bang
But
in the
that
truck
was
and just shotgun it.
I can't drink those things.
You have a what?
Bang energy. Have you tried one of those?
No.
Do you drink energy drinks?
No.
Oh.
I drink coffee.
I do too.
I don't drink.
Hey, by the way, coffee's the original energy drink.
Yes, so I drink energy drink. I drink the energy drink.
It's delicious. I love coffee. Yeah.
I wasn't trying to give you a hard time. I was trying to give you a compliment, sir.
I don't want your compliments.
So next time,
You remember, we're on the neutral. We
so
just want me and
mental-
you need to stay neutral.
mental-
No compliments.
mental note. Next time, say, man, you got through that really quick. You're doing great.
Your compliments hurt.
Backhanded compliments.
To my right, I have my lovely wife, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, jacked and tan. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. We had a great holiday, didn't we?
We did.
Just got back from your folks' house in Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
Didn't lose any weight while I was there.
No.
Pretty sure of that.
We did not. I think I gained 10 pounds just from Mom's house.
Boy, can that woman cook. She is unbelievable.
Yes.
What are you doing there, Thirsty?
He got up and moved the headphones
it was obstructing
It
the
was
view.
obstructing
it was
my
obstructing
view
his
of Jack and
camera
Tan.
view, because in case you're following along on social, I'll take a picture of him so you can see that he has a camera.
So what's going on with you, Amanda?
I'm recovering from a back injury. And everything's going good. Chiropractor gave me the thumbs up to start back working out.
Yep.
So go lift all the weights
So I'm going to
tomorrow?
go lift all the weights tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to pile all on my bar and pull them over my head.
Well,
Or not.
A week
Got
before-
Dopey coming up
a
in
week
6
before
days.
Dopey, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, that'd be awesome.
Yep.
That's
6
what you
days.
need to do, is figure out how to pull 300 pounds like Wednesday morning before you head to the airport.
The Dopey Challenge, for those of you who do not know,
Yes.
is in Disney World, and it's what?
So it's a chain of races, one a day. So we'll start out on Thursday with the 5K, Friday 10K, Saturday a half marathon, and Sunday finish off with a marathon.
All right.
Don't forget Monday.
What's Monday?
We drink around the world.
We do drink around the world on Monday. And I'm so excited about Harry Potter World. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Gonna get me some new wands, possibly a robe. It's gonna be killer.
That's great.
You know what? I think Wilson is so happy he's not going on this trip even more right now.
When we go to the park, I mean, y'all can go to different sections, but you can pick me up at the end of the day at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
I would
Well,
be
there's two
of
parts to
no
the Wizarding
value.
World of Harry Potter.
There is.
So
Super excited.
Let's talk about it some more.
Well, it's just getting done with all that running and then doing all that walking would be really hard.
active
We
recovery.
can talk about hot yoga too, or do we
I
want
don't
to wait on
believe in
that?
active recovery.
Ooh, hot
I think the best thing to do is come home, get on a couch, eat crappy food, and do that for about 72 hours.
We're gonna walk around the park and eat Disney food.
That's cool.
But do you know that at Disney there is a food cart that has a bread-shaped, like an ice cream cone, and it has mac and cheese inside it.
Gross.
Get out of here.
It looks like an ice cream cone, except it's bread
Ew.
and mac and cheese.
I've never eaten one.
That
but
sounds
it
gross.
Sounds amazing.
It's a big carb sandwich.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm
terrible.
really good with that.
And the next picture everybody's gonna see is me eating one of those.
Right.
Anything carb related, I enjoy. I don't even have, even if it was shaped like bread and had qualities like bread.
I'm going to have one for you while I'm at Disney World Beefcake.
Bring me one home.
So yeah, see if you could send us a package of some.
Okay. We'll see how that turns out.
Probably get
some
stopped
Dole
at
Whips.
security.
I'm probably going to send you an empty bag and tell you that it was shipped and somebody ate it along the way.
Next to my lovely wife, we have Chris Miller.
Yay.
Well,
Hey, guys.
hello.
The one and only Chris Miller. There is only one Chris Miller.
There is. Search it on Facebook. I'm the only one that pops up.
Dude, I'm so excited to have you on here. It's almost like I feel like it's a guest episode. I mean, a host's episode.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do any preparation because I knew that we were just gonna talk about.
Chris is
nothing.
definitely a friend of the podcast and of the hosts and of our communities and everything like that. So Chris and I have competed together. We've run together. We've suffered together in many ways.
We've made him do things that he probably didn't want to do.
Everything I've done fitness related has been linked to someone in this room.
None of this has been on your own free will.
No, Herb Parsons. It's really an easy course.
That was Amanda. telling
Do
you
it.
that? Yeah.
Sylamore 50K.
Sylamore 50K.
How long you been doing
He
this?
completed the Sylamore 50K.
Did?
This will be 3 years.
You've been in a 3-year hostage
Yeah.
situation.
And it's funny because it all started out with the transfer sticker on a refrigerator. Like I just saw lift heavy, run long. I was like, what is that? I'm not running, but I like to lift heavy.
Isn't when you see that lift heavy run long, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
That's the same way that I felt too.
Yep.
I remember the first time I saw it and I thought,
Because those things are supposed to be mutually exclusive, but we're breaking that,
What's
that
funny is
paradigm.
I didn't know that. Like I that's how ignorant I was.
That's
to
awesome,
Just
though.
the whole thing, and then once I learned, you have to, if you're strong, you can run long, right? Your body can go farther.
One
It
might
made
say
sense.
one might say we're disrupting the fitness industry.
turn it upside down. Put that microphone closer to your face. We just had those cleaned.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, am I supposed to be tasting
Yeah,
styrofoam?
you're supposed to kiss it.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
If
Just
it
a
smells
light
like
kiss.
beer, it's probably mine from last week, and I'll switch with you. Oh, too
We
late.
replace them every episode.
At least we tell everybody we do.
We're going to keep them, like what's the burger place that they say has their grease moved by armored truck?
Oh,
Dyers.
it's Dyers.
Dyers.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to be like the Dyers
I want to go
hamburgers
there and try
So
that.
good.
of mouthpieces. Like we
Yeah, they have
never
like
clean
80-year-old grease.
You had me at Greece.
them. Yep.
I saw it on TV. I think Guy, what's his face, went there or something.
Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
Guy.
And I want to go to the different barbecue places to try all the big places out in Memphis too.
Don't go to Rendezvous.
I want to introduce the Reverend.
Blasphemy.
Hello. I'm getting an introduction. Be quiet.
This is his moment.
Y'all are not following the
He just hushed the
protocol.
guests.
There's protocol.
We took a week off. We forgot how this works.
That's what happened.
I've never
We
been
did?
there.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We took a week off.
Merry
And we're gonna
Christmas
be
and
off
Happy
next
New Year,
week, too.
everybody. Because
We might as well
two
not even
out
have a
of
podcast.
the
Because
four
we-
of us be gone.
We celebrated Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
That's right. Merry New Year. Happy New Year.
Reverend,
Happy New
how are
Year.
you?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
It
What's
is-
new in your world?
It's a brand new year.
It is 2019.
It is. We're that much closer to 2020.
How do we feel about 2019?
I feel pretty good about it.
I don't like writing nines. So I'm going to be sad for a whole year having to write 2019 on all my stuff. Nines are not like a good number for my handwriting.
Really?
So it's going to bother me for a whole year.
That's pretty bad for someone who has the best handwriting
The best.
of anybody in the entire world.
I have to work on my
Right.
nine
You
game.
better practice. 500
See that
nines.
9 up there? I don't
That's
like
a great
it.
looking 9.
It is a great looking 9.
And if that's the biggest hurdle that you have at this point in your life,
If
we're
that,
going to get through
if
this.
that's all that's bothering
That's
you
a
about 2019, then
First
damn,
world
you were
problem.
doing well.
My New Year's resolution is to write better 9s.
Big Thirsty,
Hey, buddy.
how are you?
I am well.
What do you think about 2019?
It's got to be better than 2018.
2018 was rough on you.
It
rough
was.
on a brother.
Yep,
It was
yep.
a pretty shitty year.
Yeah, 2018 was pretty rough. I mean, it is what it is. Pushing through, trying to live life to the best I can, but I'm ready for the new year and see what this one holds.
I had a great 2018, and I am that much more excited about 2019. There's not a doubt in my mind that 2019 is going to be enormous. I don't know what that means,
Yes,
some-
what
in
does
some
that
way or
mean?
another,
what
yeah.
What would
but I just feel like it just keeps getting better.
We
Things-
kicked off 2019 right this morning or today.
You damn right we did.
What'd y'all do?
We had lunch today.
Oh, that's right. While I was at work.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the most exciting lunch I've ever eaten.
Where'd y'all go?
Swankies.
Swankies.
Oh, okay.
And we talked about the app.
We talked about
that
the
super
new
exciting?
app.
And you wouldn't believe the stuff that this guy's capable of doing. You know, I've been learning Swift. And you know that
All of
very
this
well.
is stuff I've told him I'm capable of.
I
I
know,
haven't
I
actually
was gonna
proven
ask,
any
can
of
you
it
really
yet.
do it, or is it just like leading him on like a first date?
It would
Really,
be-
I'm just trying
Hey,
to get
you
to
know how he
second
loves
base right
that
now.
fake it till you make it. He's faking it, dude.
What's-
But he'll make it. That's the best part.
So I'm learning about computer programming, you know, at the beginner level. And so listening to Thirsty like discount all of my concerns over here because his concerns are things that I didn't even know were things to be concerned about. And so I'm just like, wow, like the knowledge that this guy has, it's incredible. It's going to be nuts, man.
I'm excited.
Are you excited about
Yeah, like I said at lunch today, as much as I'm excited about the opportunity to provide a better app to the community, for me, the giddy part of it is the building it and seeing it all come together and you know, making the features work and that kind of stuff. I will eventually be excited about the community aspect of it and people using it, people talking about it, and being able to point at it and say that we built that and you know, that kind of a thing. But for me right now, it's more the motivation is more the fact that I get to build it and put it together.
Have you noticed how different our styles are to approaching everything and anything? I remember when we were camping before Big Hill Pond, and you said, "Give me a second. I have to read all of the instructions before I do anything." And I thought, I don't read instructions ever. And then with this app, I'm like, well, just start doing
Just throwing stuff
your
out
stuff.
there. Yeah.
And you're like, no, you got to,
How long have we been talking now? 6-8 weeks ish.
something like that.
Yeah, before, and I mean, I still haven't written a line of code, but we're getting close. We know where we want to go. We know what we want to do. It's just a matter of making it happen.
I'm pumped, dude. It's going to be great.
I'm excited.
Let me tell you what else I'm excited about.
Did you get a 5-star review? Did we get a 5-star review?
Yeah. We got stuff happening. We got 2 of the best reviews that we've ever had.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of what they say, or because of who they're from, or both?
just what they say.
Okay.
Because I don't know what either of them from.
Ooh, one's a long one. I see it.
Well, the
what she
first one, yeah, I didn't even look at the name.
Oh man, he burnt me so bad. That was a good one.
Is that what she said, Brian? Who else was in the room?
Sorry.
I want to know that
All right.
story.
God, open that straight up.
Also, what she said.
I never
just gonna keep
said
my mouth
it. I
shut
hate
from
that
now
quote.
on.
I hate it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Amanda and I will try and get as much of that out of our systems while we're gone
You
as
never
we can.
will. You never
Because
will.
it's never not
It's a
funny.
Michael Scott thing. It's hilarious.
It's never. There's never a place. You know what I was about to say. I was going to say there's never a place where it can't be inserted. That's the problem. There's nothing that can't be said
Can't be
that
turned
you
around.
can't turn around to be perverted and say that's what she said.
Exactly.
And I hate it. Which is also what she said. All right, the first one, 5 stars, road trip worthy. I didn't notice this guy's name until now. DFL CrossFitter. This is the review. Wife had me listen on a road trip, and it's enjoyable podcast. That's it. I think that probably they heard us begging people for reviews. It was like, I'm finally going to leave this person a review.
That's great.
And I think
okay
that's
with that.
perfect.
I appreciate it.
Well,
yes.
but by
I'm
the fact that
definitely
it
with
wasn't his choice to listen to the podcast and was forced to listen to it and enjoyed it and decided
If it was-
after that
took his
to
time.
if it
to-
was
took his time to leave a
yeah.
review after he was forced to listen to it says a lot about
Yeah.
that he enjoyed it.
Well, if it was a shitty podcast, he would have been like 1 star. This sucks. My wife.
Well, and you're starting off on the wrong foot when you're being forced to listen to something. When your wife's
Right.
like, listen to this podcast, you're automatically going to be like, all right, let me
like when
listen
I
to
forced you to look at Schnauzer puppy videos.
this. That's right. I don't leave reviews on Schnauzer Puppy video websites very often. Okay, here's another review. 5-star review, but really 4.97 stars. We were deducted some points.
For
Or I
me,
was.
it's my fault.
By Chris S973. Love this podcast. I find each episode funny, enjoyable, and insightful. The way you all play off each other is the secret ingredient. Listening is like hanging out with good friends. Conversation can be serious, but not too serious, with a good balance of laughing at each other and with each other. My favorite podcast was Just the Host episodes where you all talked about how much you do not run or train. And the struggle to work out consistently. Prior to this episode, I thought you all were fitness gods. It was great to hear how, just like for the most of us, it is a challenge to stay dialed in. Made me like the show that much more. As for the 4.97 stars, 1.015 has been taken off for Wilson always telling me to leave a review. That's fair. 2.010 off because you guys don't talk about lifting heavy and running long. Also fair. Just the journey it has taken you on, which is where you get the 4.97 stars. 3.005 off because you guys don't run as much as I thought you would.
We'll take it.
Not sure I know who you are now. Thanks for your time and passion. That's a perfect review.
We race a lot.
We do a lot of races.
We don't train.
That's
Well,
right.
CrossFit's our training, or my training.
Well, I train.
Yeah, you do.
Just to throw that out there, I feel like I train.
So always got to be that one guy in the group.
Yeah, really. What an overachiever. Do you plan on training more this year than you ever have?
Not that I ever have, but I will train this year as much as I have in the past.
You didn't do a whole lot of training in 18?
You can
No,
do more
I did
training
the
in
whole-
2018.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do anything in 2018.
You really didn't do anything in 2018.
I did jack shit in
Just-
2018.
Kind of petered out after Tunnel Hill.
I ran a marathon. That counts, right?
You
Yeah.
started a 50 miler.
I started a 50 mile.
You did a 50K.
I did.
At least one,
What
if not
50K
more.
did you do?
Sylamore.
Well, I'll do
Oh,
Sylamore
Sylamore.
every year.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
So he's training hard for Sylamore.
Well, yeah, I'm just back in the groove of everything, and I'm running. I'm doing my runs like
Do
I'm supposed
you
to.
attribute your funk all to Tunnel Hill? Or was it life circumstance? I know
Oh,
you
boy.
took on a job.
There was a lot of it. Yeah, life circumstance and Tunnel Hill and all of that.
I think a 100-mile race would throw me.
Are you
into
afraid
some kind
of doing
spiral.
the 100-mile race again this year and it
Not
falling
even, not
into-
even a little bit.
Okay.
Nope. I'm not scared of it at all.
Now it's just old hat. I mean, been
No,
there.
no,
done
Yeah,
that.
it's not.
I mean, do you even
uh,
get a sense of accomplishment anymore?
Well, no, I'm talking about like,
wow.
is he worried about falling back into depression or anything after he runs?
No.
some of the higher-
Life circumstances again are completely different than they were at that point in time. So, hopefully, I'm
Okay.
in a much better space. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
And you're running a hundo to pace Dawn through her first, right?
Yeah, whatever she wants me to do, I'll be there to run the race for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If
I mean,
that
you're not
means-
trying to go out and PR or whatever. You're just running with her and whatever she needs and that kind of
He's
thing.
just trying to do a hundo.
It's
bro.
100 miles. You know?
No. I don't mean to downplay the 100. I just mean it's not your race. It's her race and whatever that requires.
That's true. Yeah.
Is all I was trying to
Yeah.
say, which is a noble thing.
I'm in for that. Yeah, I told her I would. So Dawn is one of our friends from the gym.
She
Works
is.
out and runs, and she said that if she would run the 100, if I said I would go do it too. And so I said, yeah, if that's the reason anybody needs to go run a 100 miler, I'll go do that.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
Like if somebody says, "I'll only do it if you do
I'll do it if you
then
do
you
it.
have to do that
That's true. I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
for up to 50 miles.
Wilson wants to put that disclaimer in case,
Disclaimer.
because I was just about to say, well, I'll go run 100 if you'll run it with me, Wilson.
I want everyone to have that experience that I had, you know, like, and so if I'm the limiter, I'm
the pizza
going
rolls
all-
at 3 a.m.
I'm going all in, yeah.
Is that
I
what
feel
you're
like
doing?
I can get as much out of 50 as you can 100. I feel like that what I go through over the course of 50 miles can't be.
Well, it's
a
about the
whole
same
lot
amount of time, right?
We went to Gatlinburg while we were in Chattanooga this past week.
Okay.
As if I wasn't being fed enough, then I went to like the
Fudge capital of the world.
fudge capital
Yeah.
of the world.
Well, I wanted the kids to see it, but it wasn't a good weekend to do that.
I thought it was a great weekend. We
I mean,
did
it was
great.
just so crowded.
There was a lot of people.
Like when we got out of the car and walked down the sidewalk, I wanted to throw up and roll into the drainage ditch and hide.
That's pretty bad.
She said that. She verbalized that to the kids
There's
and
so
everything.
many people.
Like, this is going to be a great
Everywhere.
family trip. And we get there, and she's like, I would just like to roll up into the drainage ditch and die. Like, come on, kids.
We made it. Yeah.
I ate so much garbage walking up and down that street. And, you know, there's just so much to eat.
There is.
And you
Yeah,
got to eat all of it.
you do.
And then it hits you like, oh, my God, I just ate that. I'm going to be sick. for
He
a
ate like
long
this
time.
huge box of popcorn. I got a small box and put it directly into my purse. And then he's like, "Where's your popcorn?" I was like, "It's in my purse."
Give it to me.
From
Yeah.
And then we had
He's like, "Why aren't you eating it?"
Well, I got to tell you a funny story because we talked about this before. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I got home from work and I walk in the door and I go, oh my God, I'm starving. And I walk through the living room.
And Murphy's
and
worried
I go,
about what?
And I go, look, Murphy's sitting on her bed watching TV and she got a bag of muffins. She's like this. And she just looks at me when I walk in the door. And I go, I'm not going to eat your muffins. She's
Man, what kind of father are you,
She's
Barn?
terrified of him with
Jeez.
food. He must have like ate all her food.
like, so funny.
That is funny.
You ate all the caramel corn, right? Or the candy corn?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me.
What were you saying about Gatlinburg?
Well, I was saying that I ate too much.
But you walked it all off.
And I walked it all of it is gone now.
We went to Dollywood, where
went
you
to-
did not ride anything.
Yep. I need to, in case something happened to y'all, I wanted to be there.
How far is Dollywood from Chattanooga?
I mean, it's in Gatlinburg.
3
so,
hours.
So
Yeah,
you drove 3 hours from Chattanooga to.
2.5 hours.
Right.
Okay.
Amanda can go and do stuff all day and all night for days on end. Whereas I wear down easy. And she wanted to go to Gatlinburg, and we got up and we drove there, and then we went to Dollywood, and I get motion sick, especially driving around all those winding things. that
It's pretty. Those are pretty windy
go on.
roads.
So I
up in the
figured I better
Smoky
not push my
Mountains.
luck and ride any rides because I'm generally only good for about one roller coaster, and then I'm kind of queasy. And on top of all the crap that I ate.
I was going to say, the crap that you ate probably is what makes the queasiness worse.
Yeah, yeah. But I do have a question about Gatlinburg. You see all the stuff that's there, all the attractions, one of which is about 48 different putt-putt places.
Right.
Who do you contact if you just happen to want a 90-foot gorilla hanging out? There's, or a Mount Rushmore that's made out of country singers, or who makes these big-ass statues?
There's a guy.
Big,
I'm sure there's a
big
guy.
statue makers.
Who would you call to do that?
He'd Google big
I'd probably
statue maker.
Google it.
Google
yeah.
big stat. Is that what you type in?
Probably
Big
so.
Big statue
maker?
makers.
Big statue
Put
artists.
it on Reddit. How can I-
CustomBigStatues.com. I bet
And
you
then
it's a
just
thing.
call and be like, "Hey, this is Larry from Gatlinburg. I'm looking for one of the big 90-foot gorilla that's holding on to an airplane and a girl.
Oh, you're talking about King Kong?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's enormous, but they do a great job.
Oh, because there's isn't there a Ripley's Believe It or Not or something?
There
There's
is,
about
yeah.
6 within
Yeah.
a mile. Of,
They're all just named different things.
They have that gigantic, like 2,000-pound
Marble.
ball,
Yeah.
marble
We go-
that spins around with water.
we go every year. Did y'all do Anarchista? Did you go up the mountain to the? It's pretty cool. That's a new. They had Ober Gatlinburg where you go up and they had the little alpine coaster.
There was a line 2 hours long wait for the tram. Yeah.
At
Man,
least.
we used to go to Gatlinburg every year when I was a kid, and we would camp for like 2 weeks in the summer every year. And that where y'all went, Dollywood, used to be called Silver Dollar City.
Yes.
And
It did.
Damn, you're old.
and so, but the difference back then and now is, back then they had things like you could throw hatchets. Right, like one of the games was like, and
that's making a comeback
My
right now?
parents, my parents have a like Super 8 video of me like throwing a hatchet
Do you know?
at the target, and like today you'd never get to have that.
No,
You can actually do
In
that at the
bars.
bar.
Today
In
there
a
are
bar.
bars
I
that
know,
allow you to do axe
but
throwing.
You probably
Like,
have to sign
what-
a waiver. Number one, when you go in. Number two, they're never going to have that in an amusement park with the kids because some kid's going to turn and throw it at some.
Yeah, I wonder if you got to be
Adult,
18 and
you know?
over, because my girlfriend's going tomorrow night to like a company function where they're going to drink and throw axes.
Oh yeah, I mean there has to be like super waiver. I have a lawyer sign
Yeah.
this, and
I'm thinking that's probably a real thing.
I think it is too.
Gary Kale just commented and said www.bigassstatuemakers.com.
Yeah.
I think he was just.
it's the
I
sister
think we need.
company
I
of
think
the
we need
Big
to
Ass
register
Fan.
all of those if they're not registered.
the Hickory Hill that pawn shop is
Oh, Big Daddy's Pond.
is Big Daddy's big ass pawn shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a giant Statue of Liberty. One.
Oh yeah. Out that church.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, yeah.
One block over, and Big Daddy's big ass pawn shop also has big gorillas
Yep.
that you can purchase.
You have tried to get one a few times.
I think we need two.
Ooh.
Speaking of big ass gorillas
We have
and
a good
statues,
yard for.
Careful.
What is that lady?
That's a
Yeah.
great segue.
Chris Miller, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4". 6'4".
Are you only 6'4"?
I just happen to be sitting next to
No
a
way.
big
You
ass-
have no business
no
telling
way.
people you're 6 foot.
You are like 6'7".
I am.
6'8".
Look. Yes.
Because I was just about to say, I've just realized that Chris is who I need to be having come out to all these races, even if I have to pay his race entry, or even if I only convince him to show up for the picture beforehand or the picture after,
We can,
so that I stop looking so freakishly tall.
Bring you down to size.
Yeah, he's got to be there to bring me down to size.
We can
Yeah.
organize all of that.
So it's
Give me
funny.
your PayPal.
So New Year's Eve
right.
night, I'm sitting around with some friends who are all aware of the joke about how large I look. And at one point, I'm sitting like in a chair that's like super relaxed, so I'm like laid down like this, and they're like, and they didn't say anything. But then I sat in a normal chair, and they're like, "Go back to that other chair because you look freakishly tall, like sitting in a normal chair. You need to go in that laid back chair over there where you're a foot shorter." And anyway, so I need to get Chris Miller to come out because
I think you should rock it and get some Hagrid shoes and go for it. Just be super tall.
I would totally own
that's
that
a Harry
like the
Potter
height
reference,
thing.
in case you were wondering.
I know that.
Everything that I don't understand becomes a Harry Potter. I just assume it's a Harry Potter reference.
That's probably a safe bet.
Yeah,
That's what she said came from Harry Potter, right?
that's it's something about the wand.
Yeah.
I really want you to start telling people that you're 6'8",
I'll do it.
because I read this on the internet.
Because he's 6'4".
You can't tell
Wait, if Wilson's 6'4", then
Wait
how
a
tall am I?
how tall people are if they're taller than you. Do you understand? You follow me?
No,
What?
I'm not. What?
It's harder to judge how tall people are when they're taller than you.
I think that's reverse for me because I never realize how short people are.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't. Like everyone's just the same height.
Everybody
Everybody's
looks
shorter
like a
than me.
midget to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
you
it's-
should tell people that you're 6'8" and your internet 6'10". You can, if you're posting online, you can tell people you're 6'10".
Okay,
That's how that works.
I'm down with that. Can I start an Instagram following?
You
And
could be the fastest 50K runner that is 6'10" tall.
That's not true. The dude from Breakaway
Kevin,
at Big Hill Pond, I was
Big
looking
Kevin?
around. I was like, I think I'm the biggest guy here. And I
Keith.
turned,
Big Keith.
and he's 6'8", 6'9", maybe.
6-7 foot.
Yes.
Corey's
Internet
tall.
7.
That's a big joker.
Yeah. He's the one that wears the tutus. What?
Wow.
You're not talking about. Lomax didn't show up to that, did he?
No.
No.
Lomax
Lomax would
that
not
tall.
wear tutu.
Lomax is not 6'8", nor does he wear tutu.
Did
He's watching.
Did he say Lomax or did he say Womack?
No, not
Lomax.
Womack either.
I said Lomax, but I was thinking.
Lomax, I would never see him wearing a tutu in
Ever.
a
No.
race.
Okay.
He would punch somebody.
Which he
before
had a
wore
happy
tutu.
birthday this
He
week. I
did.
think.
Did he really?
Yes.
You know, I talk to Lomax every single day.
Oh, I can imagine.
Did
Yeah.
you tell him happy birthday?
No, I didn't know it was his birthday.
He's probably like, what an ass.
Awful.
And he probably told me it's my
Probably
birthday
told
and I'm doing this.
Have you
Don't
talked
do
to
it,
him?
man.
Have you talked to him since his birthday?
We talk every single day.
Okay, so after you didn't wish him happy birthday, he still talked to you.
He doesn't remember.
Sean said the tall guy is David Heineman.
That's it. Yeah.
I know that's a different guy than what
Sean who?
Hilston.
Hilston.
Sean.
Sean's
The-
watching.
The
Sean said
Sean.
Sean's watching.
Sean
Well,
was
she didn't
torn.
say
He
the
was
Anthony's
Sean.
having-
watching.
She just
He
said
was
Sean.
having an emotional pull between whatever, watching The Rock and the teenagers do the Teen Challenge,
The Titan
Titan
Challenge.
Challenge?
Titan Challenge,
Titan Fitness Challenge.
or watching the LHRL podcast. Because I was putting
Oh,
together
because
my
the premiere
Christmas
is
present
tonight.
from Amanda,
Oh,
I
is
was
it?
pretty sure we wouldn't have a podcast because I didn't think that we were
We can
gonna be able to
rewatch
get
it.
the audio working.
I'm sure it streams on some sort of illegal service.
Sean, you made the right choice.
We don't have a podcast next week.
We don't have a podcast next week
Did I-
because
I think I mentioned that, but
2 of the 4 of us are going to do crazy things.
that's right.
The Dopey Challenge. The Dopey
Yep.
Challenge.
So I went to hot yoga. I just have to say this.
She really wants to talk about
And that
it.
was so
Hot
hot. I have
yoga.
to talk about it because people need to
And-
know out there it is so hot.
And she
It's so
thought
hot.
it was
It's
just going to be
hot. It's
really,
not.
really, really gorgeous looking people that were going to be doing yoga. She didn't realize that
Well, I
it was
just
a
thought it was going to be like
temperature
a
thing.
walk in and like waterfall, like trickling in the background. You lay
They'd
your
be like,
mat out.
Wait a
and,
minute.
like,
You're
No,
not.
that
wait.
waterfall trickle is the sweat coming
it's
off
the
your
sweat
body.
off my ass
Okay,
because
you're
it
hot
was so
enough. You're hot enough to come in. Yeah. next door. You're hot enough. You go next door
But
to the
no
cold
lie,
yoga.
I walked in there because she's like, "Oh, just set your mat down wherever you want to go. Thank you for coming." And I walk in that door and I was like, "Oh my god, it's so hot in here!" And it was like instant panic. It was just like, "Uh-oh, yeah, I got to
What
work
have I
on
got
this."
myself into?
It was
That
hot.
would be one
How-
of the most embarrassing situations you could absolutely ever put me in. Would be to take me to that class with Charlie and hot yoga.
You know what I think
I
would,
would
be,
be
you know
so
what I think would be
embarrassed.
a more embarrassing situation? Have you guys ever watched I think Ellen does it where she puts a mic in somebody's ear and like sends them out into the world and like tells them like stuff that they have to say to random people.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Oh, that would be bad. That would be bad. But I'm talking about more of like normal people things.
Normal people, okay.
Like oh god, I would.
That's
never
my
do
life
that.
every day I go to CrossFit or do anything physical.
Oh, whatever.
I go somewhere and I just
You just
start
be quiet
sweating.
over there.
Everybody
I
loves
did.
you.
I did think
Just
about
fucking
you.
do.
Like I thought, this is how Wilson is in CrossFit. With me just like pouring sweat, my shirt was hanging, my shirt was dripping, pulling down. It was so heavy with sweat and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is what Wilson deals with every day.
That sounds like fun though.
I would do that. Yeah, I kind of want to do that.
Now that you put it that way.
And then it was like I got dizzy a few times, and then it was like a challenge not to pass out. It's like I can't pass out. I keep going because people were
Smacking
laying
yourself.
down, like they were quitting what they were doing to lay down on their mats. And I was like, I can't do that.
It would be a
Cannot do that.
fantastic commercial for any of the local yoga studios to invite all of us out to their hot yoga place and put a camera on us. That would be the
That'd be
most
fun.
viral video
And
that
make it an
anyone could
endurance
imagine.
event. Last man standing.
Who could?
What do you
which
win?
one of
What-
us?
what
can
do we
make
win?
Yeah,
What do we win?
Which one of
Commercial.
us can
the
make it
Hernando
the-
yoga
like,
place.
Do they have one in Hernando?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that we had one
Is it
Is
close.
it a hot yoga place or is it a?
They,
it regular?
I think they do hot yoga.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. That I would totally be down for that. That'd be so much fun.
I feel like there's a cross branding opportunity there for
yeah,
somebody.
for sure.
You know what it's time for?
Chris Miller.
It's Miller time.
Hypothetical questions.
Oh, sorry,
Where's
Chris.
the intro music?
Where's the intro music?
I told my brother's
Vaughn.
going to make one. I
He
told him to
His
make
brother is going to make intro.
Vaughn,
music.
until we have that music,
We'll have one. You want to sing something for us, Vaughn? What if you were to have made music? What would it sound like?
It would sound a lot like this. Well, I was walking down the street and I was wondering if we were ever going to have hypothetical time. And then all of a sudden one of my friends jumped out of the woods and said, it's hypothetical time. Hypothetical time.
Hypothetical time.
Ba-da-ba.
I would buy that.
That was
Yes.
pretty good. All right.
I'm not
This-
I'm not really that scared of embarrassing myself.
this podcast has officially jumped the shark.
I don't think he's drinking either. I don't think he's.
Chris, you still with us?
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame you if you had left by now.
You guys made me do it. I
Would
wouldn't
you
do
rather-
it. You could have just skipped it. He said, my brother's making a song. And I was like, yeah, he's making a song.
That was a great job. Now, next time, everybody's going to be really looking forward to what comes up. All right, everybody get together. This is a serious question.
This is very serious.
After 129 episodes, now you want us to get it
This is-
together?
It's Miller time.
This is gonna make you all think
Oh,
a lot. Chris,
Yep.
would you rather run elite, be the top runner in your field for 5 years, or you can live in Gatlinburg for the rest of your life, eat whatever you want, but you can never exercise again? You'll never get diabetes.
hush
you'll
falls
never
over
have
the
health
crowd.
complications.
Oh, you'll
So you
you'll
won't
just
get
live
fat?
forever?
No, you won't get
You'd
fat.
be like a
Oh,
vampire.
well, in that case, yeah, dude. I'm going to Gatlinburg and eating, without a doubt.
But
Yeah.
you can't run.
I don't like to run.
Gallenberg.
Not a problem. You should have made this more challenging.
Elite or not, yeah, I don't have to.
Amanda,
Gallenberg.
Vaughn,
I would take the 5 years of elite athlete standing.
thank you.
Yes.
That validated my question.
And then,
Thirsty?
Well, you're always going to have the outliers.
does elite mean paid? Because then I'd probably use that money to move to Gatlinburg and eat what I wanted to
After 5
the
years.
5 years.
I don't think somebody smarter than me will say that elite status doesn't really mean getting paid. It means how fast you are, right? Like
That's what I was
it
kinda
means like
thinking.
you're.
I think it comes with
if
it.
you're at the St. Jude Marathon, for instance, and you're in the elite
Well, they don't-
first
okay,
corral,
so
you
St.
have to. The only qualifier to get in there would be that you're fast.
There
Not that
are
you've made money doing
there
it.
are quite a few athletes that get appearance fees for showing up to races. St. Jude does not pay appearance fees anymore, but that still is a thing for a lot of the major marathons.
I feel like it's getting harder and harder to get people to pay you to do athletic stuff.
But if you're the
anymore.
top of your
Right.
field,
But what I learned about is micro influencers, which is people that don't have a large following, and I think I'm going to go for that. Like, somebody will pay me to, like,
Where'd
do
you
their
come? Who coined the term micro influence?
It's a marketing thing.
Probably
like
a Seth Godin term.
it's an advertising thing where like you only get so much out of these people that have like 500,000
Yeah.
millions of followers, but like somebody like myself who has maybe 1,500 followers, those 1,500 I know lots of those people, and so
and
they're-
those 1,500
so those-
all know about Tailwind.
and those 1,500
Right,
people
yeah.
all know, for instance, about Tailwind because I talk about it all the time. But it might be Chris, right, follows me on Instagram. And so Chris is more likely to actually go and buy Tailwind because of something I post versus some guy that posts
Because you're
Because
significantly
Kim,
I've actually-
more
Because
engaged
Kim
with your
Kardashian
followers.
talked about
Whereas
Tailwind.
Shaquille
you
O'Neal
wouldn't.
said,
I
Shaquille
wouldn't
O'Neal, you're
buy
never going to.
Tailwind.
If Shaquille O'Neal posts, "Oh man, I got me a brand new pair of Nikes. Go get you some Nikes." Well, okay. I mean, what is that like? But if I say, for instance, "Man, I love these new Ultra trail shoes I got. I really recommend you guys check these things out." They're more than likely going to go do that.
yeah, you're definitely more influential than Shaquille O'Neal.
You got it.
That, I mean, he has a point. The Froning shoes, right? Froning, the Reebok Froning shoes. All the top CrossFit folks have shown them. I'm like, I don't want those at all. Don't want them at all. but Vaughn or Swanson, y'all post a shoe. I'm like, maybe I need some New Balance Minimus. Like, maybe I.
Maybe I will try those.
Because I don't identify with the people up here, but I can identify with Swanson and Vaughn on some level.
I would totally buy a Chris Miller shoe before I'd buy Rich who from.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's a nobody.
He's a junior.
He is a junior.
I've got another hypothetical question. All right.
You missing another song?
You can continue down your current path of life as it is right now, or, I forgot the question. You can be given retirement. All your needs will be taken care of. You don't have to work anymore. However, you can't exercise. You don't have to go to work tomorrow or ever.
Define exercise.
Like, am I allowed to play golf?
You can play golf. We'll let you play golf.
I think I'd pick retirement.
Okay?
I would
But
definitely
no
pick.
fitness-related stuff.
Well, what does that mean?
It means you're not allowed to train.
Like a heart rate, you can't get your heart rate up past a
You're
certain
out.
point.
You're out of the game. You're causing too many
You
problems.
ask too many
Chris?
questions.
Like, I'd probably retire. Yeah, but I would do adventurous things. I wouldn't do races or anything.
Fitness
Yeah, you
related.
can't.
But it's not fitness. If I just go for a walk, right?
Well, if we hike, like we're traveling
Nope.
and we
No,
hike in
can't
the
do that.
Himalayas. Why?
No, I'm not taking
No.
that.
I would probably just
Then I
continue
would
down
train.
the path then.
Then
make
I
the
would
questions.
stick with my life because I love my job anyway.
Okay, that's a good
Well,
answer.
look at that. That is a good answer.
I want to retire.
I think we have a not small group of people that want to meet us for hot yoga.
Just come rolling into a hot yoga class.
Wouldn't that
30
be
deep.
funny if like 30 of us just rolled into a class? We could probably get
Charlie.
Charlie to
Listen.
coach like a special class for us.
Listen,
Probably.
listen. It would be the funniest. Somebody could make the funniest video ever out of that whole experience. I promise.
Speaking of
I've
Charlie,
already got it in my head.
congratulations, Charlie.
Yeah,
All
Charlie
right.
got married this
congratulations.
weekend.
I'm getting
Yeah.
married.
Happy for you.
Did Kevin Leathers perform?
He officiated the ceremony.
I didn't know he was a reverend.
Yep.
It turns out all it takes is about
It
4
turns out he
clicks
does-
on the internet.
He does
Yeah.
all the shit I want to do way better than me.
You're Kevin Leathers' stupid younger brother.
right. Exactly.
Let's talk about our guy, Chris Miller.
How about that?
We don't have to.
Yeah, we're going to.
Okay.
So you've been in the CrossFit game for
A few years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And you walked in, you were a fat guy before you got here.
I was 285, 290-ish.
So CrossFit is what made you lose your weight. You didn't start losing before you came to CrossFit.
But see, that's not very much
No.
for a guy that's 7 foot tall.
No, it's not.
Well,
yeah, no one, everyone
he
was-
looked terrible.
Yeah, he was,
Jeez. He did.
he was on death's door
I mean, he looks like a totally different person.
completely.
Yes, to Vaughn's
Yeah.
point, yes, I did look horrible. Just I had the dad bod. I was 290 pounds with the belly. I walked in and Koloski, Dan, is building boxes, and I thought he was the owner. And I was like, who the hell wants to join this gym with Dan?
This guy
I'm
built.
just kidding, Dan. I love you.
Come on in.
I love you,
build
Dan.
boxes. We'll do a workout.
But he introduced himself, and he's like, I don't own it, And Vaughn was in the other room, in the whatever wing that is. And Vaughn came in and talked to me and Churchill,
Yep.
the other Chris that owns the flooring next to OB, who he didn't last with us. But it was funny because I just started working with Chris, and he wanted to get in shape. I wanted to get in shape. I was doing ATC curls all day, every day, curls. And
That's the only important exercise.
yes, that's right. And you got to do the
Oh, my
hiss at the
goodness.
top of it.
See, we talk about
guys
lifting.
all like this.
Talk about lifting
Talk about
heavy.
Yeah. And
They pull us aside at a very young age to teach us all this.
and Chris, because we were just right next door, Chris was like, "I'll pay for your year." Like, so we both put down a year. He paid for a year, and he paid for my year. And if someone pays for something for me, I'm not gonna just be like, I'm not gonna go, especially something as expensive as a CrossFit membership. So I went to the 4 p.m. for about 6 months, and ended up going back to my previous job at Imser Tile, and started doing 5 a.m. And that's where I saw the biggest return, because when I was going to 4 p.m., I was eating, Burger King, Mexican for lunch, and I was like, I'll just work it off at 4 p.m. But when I worked out at 5 a.m., it instilled in me that I did all this work, and now I don't want to undo it by eating garbage all day.
That's awesome.
Well, I think when you start in the morning like that, when you work out in the morning like that, I feel really good.
Yeah.
Like for the majority of the day versus if I don't work out and wake up and go to work by like noon, I'm like, yeah, just give me that cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't know what it is. It must be some kind of
folks at work are always like, "Did you work out this morning?" If I'm in a bad mood, they're like, "You didn't work out this morning." I'm like, "I didn't," and I'm angry.
Do you work out every day?
No. I've probably down to like 3 days a week.
Has this been your only fitness adventure, or were there times when?
Only serious fitness adventure. Yeah. I dropped football at freshman. I was a freshman. Went to Florida for between freshman and sophomore. Went to study hall my sophomore year. So I didn't play any sports after freshman high school, and that was not good at all. No talent.
Yeah.
And so then
you identified yourself as a chronic underachiever.
Yeah, I mean,
you would think being 7 foot tall, you'd play basketball.
So I was average freshman, and I hit my growth spurt right after freshman year. So when I came back and the coach had put me in study hall, he was like, "Where have you been?" I'm like, this just happened. I just sprouted like a foot over the summer, and after that, it was just junk food and that
Were you even aware of your body? Like, did you think like, I need to get to a gym and work out?
No, because I was always the big guy. After that, I was always just the big guy. Like no one ever said, you're fat. Thanks, friends. They just let me walk around fat. As Mark Fortune said, I ate all my friends.
How many 6, whatever you are, people are you going to walk up to and be like, "Hey, you're fat."
We already covered this. He's 7.5 feet tall.
7.5 people are
Dude,
gonna say,
you're fat.
I just had zero drive.
They were afraid you were going to eat them.
Like I just
So you were 30. What are you now?
31.
So you're 28 years old before you decided to do anything.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I did the Globo gym stuff. Like I would go work out with my buddies, and we would do bench press and never squat because something came up on leg day every week. And that was it. Like I tried to do the Globo gym, which what hooked me with CrossFit was I didn't have to worry about anything. I just walked into the gym and did what I was supposed to. It was also a slap in the face when P.D. Elliott handed me a girl bar and said, "This is what you're using." I'm like, "So can I put weights on it?" "No, you're going to use this." And I was like, "This is crap, dude. I'm a grown man."
Yeah.
Like I can do a thruster with
Do you
weight.
know how much I bench, lady? What's wrong with you?
And then I couldn't walk the next day. I was like, well, I got to go back because this works. I'd never been this sore before. And the community at Olive Branch, and I still preach this to anyone looking for a gym, the community at Olive Branch is what hooked me. Especially when like Lynn came on board and everything was, Swanson came, and I hit the 5 a.m. class with the old dude. Help me out. Mark Fortune.
I was not going to say his name. I felt like you've already ostracized a couple
And Stephanie.
It's okay. He's not watching.
Stephanie Briscoe.
Yeah.
That was a close knit group of people, and it was it's something that I try to do at Hammered Steel now. If somebody comes in, I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel like they belong there, whether they're 300 pounds or whether they're 100 pounds, or I want them to be able to come into the gym and know that they're accepted for whatever level of fitness they're at.
That's the funny thing about 5 a.m. I mean, a lot of our classes, I think, are like this at Olive Branch CrossFit, but 5 a.m. in particular, like, more often than not, somebody new walks in the door, there's 3 people walking up to them, introducing themselves before me as the coach has an opportunity to go say anything to them.
Yeah.
So it's just a really cool thing. Like a lot of times during an event or like on the weekend, I'll have to go prompt a couple of our members to be like, "Hey, we go, introduce yourself to these people that, just got in there," and that kind of a thing. But 5 a.m., they always take care of that.
When did the running come into the picture?
Herb Parsons, 16.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember watching you come across the finish line, and that you were very emotional. You had your family there.
Dude.
And at that moment, I thought, I should appreciate this more. Like, you were so appreciative of that half marathon.
Yeah, I take that back. Herb Parsons was not my first race, I guess. I did. Do y'all remember Jake?
Yeah.
My cousin. He came for a little while to Olive Branch. He was trying to drop some weight to get into the military, and I told him, because he was a runner, I said, anything you want to, if you want to run a race, I'll run with you. So we did the Country Store 5K, AJ's race, and we did the Mike Cooley 10K in Overton
I know
Park.
I know what you're talking about.
It's
It's
like
like a 5 miler or something like that in Overton Park, or a 4 miler.
6 miles, yeah. And then we did Herb Parsons at 9 degrees. This was my first race, real race, snow and ice on the ground. I remember y'all were doing the full, right? Because you passed me a couple times. And I remember crossing the finish line, and I couldn't, everything locked up. Just everything locked up. But as I'm approaching the finish line, I see my mom and dad, my wife and my 2 kids, and they're there, and they're, jumping up and down, daddy, and I'm like, don't cry.
That's an awesome feeling.
Because your tear ducts will freeze. It was that was an incredible experience, man. And I haven't Sylamore. I didn't cry at the end of that race because I cried at the halfway point.
You just got it all the way out.
Did you cry when you stopped, or did you cry when Wilson made you go back out for the second half of the race?
I cried before Wilson walked up to the car.
Yeah. So yeah,
when
for
Sonny
for those that are keeping track at home, like the past episodes, Chris is the person that Wilson and I regularly talk about. Was that last year?
That was
past-
last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018 Sylamore, 50K. Chris and I ran most of the first half together. He got to the halfway point, and he's like, "I'm done. I'm out." And his family was there, so he takes off his shoes, takes off his socks, climbs into the back of the truck. I go to head back out to the, from the turnaround to finish the last 25K, and Wilson's coming out of the woods, and he's like, "Where's Chris?" I was like, "He's done." He's like, "All right, we'll see you in a little bit."
Yeah. And it didn't take much convincing, really, because when you're 6-year-old and 4-year-old, you're like, "Daddy, why'd you quit?" You're not gonna be like,
Oh, man. Yeah.
But I also knew, well, I didn't know at that time, but I didn't want to quit. It wasn't a thing that my body was just, or my mind was telling me my body couldn't go on.
Sure.
And just Wilson saying, "Let's go for a walk," was
Yep.
a huge. It didn't click for some reason. My brain wasn't working that I could just walk. I could just go to the next aid station. The worst thing that could happen is they were going to pull me, and I get a free ride back to the starting line. But that was if I had to sum up 2018, I would say Sylamore was probably one of the highlights, because I did something that I didn't necessarily train for, and it was hard and it sucked at sometimes, but at the end was awesome. Just having that feeling of accomplishment.
And you left us with 4 miles to go and beat us by like an hour.
Y'all were right behind me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Chris was finished, and I'm like, "Where are they?" He's like, "They're right behind me." And I kept waiting for him to come out. And I was like, "Are you sure?"
I was sitting there like,
That's
any
awesome.
minute they're gonna come around that corner.
Yeah, he was like, any second. We're all standing there, and it's like,
Me and Thirsty were literally sitting on separate boulders across from each other, like halfway up a hill. Like, we just sit out like a couple old men.
Did we stop? Did we stop like for like a waffle goo break or something? I think we had some excuse as to why we stopped.
I
you
think
have-
I stopped because I couldn't go anymore. That was the reason I stopped.
We definitely sat down on boulders for a minute.
I sat down in the river. Because my ankles and my knees were so just hurting. I wanted them to be numb.
How did your parents feel about you going back out?
Oh, well, I was wearing Injinji socks, which are, toe socks. And my dad was like, as soon as I agreed to come back out with you, he grabbed my nasty, sweaty socks and put them back on. So he had to take them out. He had to undo the toes, put them on my toes.
So they were all
Wow.
in favor of.
Yeah, Bergie was. My mom was like, kind of iffy, I guess, because she knew I was hurting. But Bergie knew that I didn't want to quit. Like, he knew if I got back out there that I was going to finish it. He's also the guy who said he didn't think I could do a half marathon. And I was like, well, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he doesn't doubt me in anything, and I wish he would doubt me a little more. Because I'm like, I'm going to do a 50-miler. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, when are we getting you to Tunnel Hill?
I'm kicking around the idea for this year, for 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does kicking it around mean?
That means I'm waiting for the money to hit my bank account.
That's usually what I say too.
But-
I'm kicking it
Yeah.
around as well.
But you plan on doing it.
I would like to, yes.
So
Yeah.
if you have the money, you're going to.
There's a couple things that fall around that time. We do a family vacation to Gatlinburg every year, and inventory at work always falls in October, November time frame. So I usually try to wait a little closer. We hear about inventory around August, July, August of when our date is. And then soon we should be having the Gatlinburg meeting of when we'll be going to that again.
So a 50-miler milestone, is that something that's important to you to get at some point in time? Or are you just thinking that?
I registered 2 years ago, and I bowed out for my back. I have a bulging disc, or I had a bulging disc. It hadn't bothered me in a while. And that's always been the thing that's in the back of my head. Like, I didn't do that race. So that's something that bugs me, that I kind of want to finish, as well as walking tall. I bowed out at the 25K mark this past year. And that was a mental race, man. For one, I started cramping up when you said, I walked through the campsite and you're like, Chris Miller. I was like, great, now I'm hallucinating, My biggest issue is when I'm working, whether that be at the job, in the yard, I don't eat. Like, I just don't. It doesn't register to eat anything. So when I passed your aid station at Big Hill Pond, I don't know if you remember this, instead of going towards the aid station, I just cut a left. And there was a huge hill right there. And I can pretty much pinpoint that's
Were
when
you trying to save yourself those extra 30 steps? Yeah, I know that feeling.
And I can pinpoint to that point when I was like, okay, this was a bad idea.
That's mentally when you're broke.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something I have to work on with my nutrition, because you can't go out and run 31 miles or 50 miles and not eat anything. That's been my losing point. At Sylamore, when I caught my second wind, was when I started shooting taco soup at the aid stations, because I was actually getting in energy.
You really have to stay on top of that.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Everybody says listen to your body,
Trouble.
but when I'm hurting, I'm telling my body to shut up. And, it's...
You do reach a point where you get so nauseous and just kind of sick feeling sometimes that you just feel like you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never forget Vaughn. That's always stuck with me when I first started running. Vaughn's like, if you get to the point of being hungry, you've waited too long to take food in.
Right. I definitely believe in that.
When I'm running and I don't feel right and I start feeling hungry, I'm like, that's the first thing I think of is you saying that. I'm like, crap, I'm already behind the.
What happens when you're that way at the starting line?
Like I did at St. Jude because I was starving.
You better shovel it in at the first aid station.
I ate a waffle or something. I don't even know what you gave me anymore. Chews, the waffle chew
yeah.
things. And still stayed starving.
And have a lot of tailwind with you.
Tailwind's all you need
Tailwind
all
is
day
good.
long.
Tailwind is a good filler.
Tailwind is good, but it's not all I need all day long.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, when you're running 100, you're going to have to eat real food at the aid station. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had, and something else that really hooked me about the trails, Herb Parsons half marathon. People were helping each other. At St. Jude, it's a great race, but everyone's kind of there for themselves. Like, they're just eyes forward. I saw a bunch of people fall at Herb Parsons, and no matter how fast the person was behind them, they could have just jumped over them, been like, you're fine, get up, dust off. They picked them up, they helped them dust off, they made sure they weren't hurt, and they went off together. At Sylamore, the lady saw that I was struggling. She was like, here, eat these. Like, you need to eat something. So she handed me her shoes. You gave me, I don't know how many S-caps, because my hands,
Yeah.
My fingers were 3 times as big as
man.
they should be. I couldn't bend my hands. I couldn't. Yeah. The lady was like, "What's wrong?"
Oh,
I remember that, and that was when I asked you about what your parents thought about you continuing. I'm always kind of wondering what the onlookers at some of these races think, because you see people that look like they should probably just die.
Yeah.
We're all like hunched over and walking like Quasimodo, and from a outside standpoint, it'd be like, man, this can't be good.
Yeah. It was trail racing. I don't feel like is a spectator sport. You don't see many people out there like cheering people on. Dawn was there at Sylamore. Of course, my mom. Everyone could hear my mom screaming through the woods, "Go, baby!" And I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go towards that aid station. But I mean, that was encouragement that I needed. It was something that I definitely needed in that moment. So, obviously my mom is always worried about me, but Bergie was very. Once he saw that I'd committed to going back out, he was like, "Let's get your socks and shoes back on, and get you back out there."
You think that one day we'll do the Tuscobia?
I hope so, man. I
You'd
hope
be
so.
my guy for that.
Scumbia.
Yeah, I would.
Tuscumbia.
For sure.
You think one day I'll be able to pronounce it and spell it right before I do it?
Let's go do Talladega better.
I looked at that within the past 2 weeks, and it's a pretty tight cutoff.
Yeah, I looked at it right before I called you that night. Or I went right before I texted you. I texted you, and I was like, let's do Tuscobia. And then 5 minutes later, my phone rings, and it's Wilson. He's like, you serious? And we never spoke of it again, but yeah, I'd totally be that guy.
Well, I thought that race, since there's a 70-mile race and a 140-mile race, I thought that they would be the same
Like Tunnel Hill, yeah.
time, but it's not. I think that you have the same amount. You both have to be running like a
The 70-mile race probably starts halfway through the cutoff time of the 140-mile race.
I think it does.
Yeah.
And you got to be moving at, I think, 17 or 15. I think 17 minutes a mile through the snow, dragging a 50-pound.
I was gonna say we should probably work on doing that like over like solid ground without a weight pack before we sign up for that.
Oh, we're going to work on it first. People do that?
We
I got to train for it.
might train for that.
Train.
Wear Brian's weight vest.
I would like to do a snow kind of race like that. And I know that you're my guy to do it because Amanda won't do.
I'll do it. I'll definitely do it. I do stupid things all the time. I did Chad, the box step ups and weighted vest.
Oh, did you really? That is
that's pretty
stupid.
What is that? How many box up?
1,000 box step ups.
with a weighted
With a weighted vest.
How long did that take you?
59:47.
Wow, that's a really good time.
Yeah, I did the EMOM style. I saw somebody post that. So I did 17 step ups a minute. I had about 15, 20 seconds of rest before you did the next one.
Well, it's probably easier for you because you're so tall.
Oh, God.
Being,
I'm also
being
250 pounds.
being 8 feet tall like he is,
It's like stepping up on a shoebox.
Just getting that. I can't. Wall balls are easy.
You get that a lot, don't
I
you?
do.
People try to make it.
But everyone
Oh,
forgets that the
rower,
guy
you
that's
can
4'8" can squat in 2 seconds, where it takes me twice as long to get.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I get that a lot.
Good stuff.
What's the stupidest thing that you would do on an unlimited budget, like fitness-wise? Is there any races that you would like to?
I don't know how this popped up on my Facebook, but it was vacation races, like vacation ultras or something like that, and it was a Utah race. Any of those races out west where you can go through canyons or
There's actually a national park marathon series.
is there?
I ran
Are
the
they
Smoky
on
Mountain.
There's
We ran the
like
Smoky Mountain
five
part
or
of that.
six different marathons at different national parks. Now the like Smoky Mountain one doesn't really go much through the park.
It doesn't
but-
go to the park, folks, so don't bother.
Yeah.
That was
but-
so disappointing.
Yeah,
It
but
was all
still.
road.
But still, there's several like that you can do that actually
Yeah.
are in the parks.
I want to do a Hawaii race, either Ragnar or the Honolulu Marathon, and then there's a marathon in England that I want to do.
I wish I was a better swimmer. Like I would love to do a try.
Do a sprint try.
I'm not a good. I swim underwater.
Struggled through a sprint try.
Like you're bad enough to where you don't think you would be able to attempt a sprint try?
I don't know. Well, how far is that?
400-meter swim, I think.
Well, I'm already halfway there, just laying down.
I was gonna say it's pretty easy for you because you're so
Well,
tall.
When you're 200 meters tall.
We should do one next year. I'll do it with you.
Was it
Like
the
this
Mighty
year?
Might?
You mean this year?
Yeah, I'll do the Mighty Might. I'll do
It
one
is
this
next year.
This year, 2019. Mighty Might.
You can rent bikes, right?
You can.
Yeah. Because
You can.
the way my bank account is set up, a tri-bike's not in it.
The way it's set up. The way my account is structured.
I can get a Huffy. Can I do a Huffy?
I'm not buying a $3,000 bike anytime soon.
Guess what?
We're out of time.
We're out of time.
Oh, 129.
I always get so sad at this point.
Me too.
Fall into a
It's just
depression.
over, and it's
This has been a
2
great
weeks.
time, and like Wilson predicted, this was like another just the host episode.
Yeah,
It's
man.
good to have a friend in
You're
the
an
house.
awesome dude. I'm glad to know you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Lift Heavy Run Long number 129 is in the books.